Well, welcome back to, well, as you know, whatever this is, the Struggle Bus Garage. No, that's not a good name. So, I've been working on the convertible a little bit. Sold my APD carburetor today. I might regret that, but I did. I'm going to need the money to pay for the machine shop bill when they finally get done with that. That's going to leave a mark. So every little bit of cash I can get ahead of time is going to help. But, like I said, working on the convertible today. Got the radiator in. The mount that Buddy sold me? Gave to me? Sold me? I paid for the shipping. I guess he gave it to me? Cool. Worked good. I had to put some spacers back here. You can't see them. I'm out of black paint, but I get some black paint. I'll shoot a little paint on here and cover these up. But I mean, it's pretty solid. Got some hoses in. Got this hose, this one, lower radiator hoses over there. I don't feel like laying on the ground today. You know how it is. Maybe you don't. You get old and things are wet. You know, we had tropical storm, depression, hurricane, storm of the century, disaster. Everybody's going to die. Came through this yesterday and everything got really wet. So I feel like we're laying on the ground today. So we'll get to that maybe tomorrow. I still have to put the nuts on the converter studs and hook up the transmission cooler lines. Hook up the cable for the starter. I had this in a box. Yeah, it's not red, but I mean, this is big stuff and it's good cable, so there's no reason for it to stay in the box and go buy something smaller that won't be as good. This cable here is actually one that I used to run the Ford Racing Starter, mini starter. And when you would buy one of those, they would give you a cable. Pretty good stuff, you know, that cable there. And it would have two wires on it, one for the little jumper wire because it was a mini starter. And that cable, well, I bought a couple of them, so I had a couple of wires. So I just took one of them and put them on here. Once again, probably better than whatever I'd get at Advance or O'Reilly's because, well, it's better stuff. Might as well use what we got. So I still need to get a ground cable. I've got some cable in a box in the storage building. I don't know where that box is. I cleaned up my storage building. I guess I never posted that video. But I cleaned up my storage building and where now I can actually walk around in there and everything's fairly neat and has a place. I don't know what's in those places because I just stuffed stuff back in there. Still haven't tested her car out yet. I think Roxboro's running this Friday, a Freaky Friday test and tune type thing. I generally don't go to those. I may this week. I don't know. Farmington has been back on their track repaving. They finally found, I don't know the whole story on it. I don't know if the first company couldn't do the job, the ones that started it. I don't know if they couldn't finish it or I don't know what happened, but somebody started the job, they ran into issues, and then suddenly everything got delayed for months. And I feel terrible for those guys because if you've seen previous videos, I think real highly of those people over there. So, but they're back on schedule. They started work on that again last week, which is wonderful. I mean, that's great. It's a little far to go for test and tune, but by God, I'd do it. So we haven't run her car yet. I bought a new coil and Pertronix unit for the 51. So I found the old instructions for the Pertronix unit, and it said the primary side resistance on the coil had to be between like 0.6 ohms and 1.5. So I tested the coil that was on the car, and it was 2.5 or 2.6. That may be why it's killing units. I'm hoping. So I bought a new unit. Bought a new coil. It wasn't a bad deal. It was still too much money, but everything's too much money now. But if you bought a new kit, you got the coil for half price. So, whatever. If it fixes the car, great. Like I said, we made some progress on the convertible. I'm actually happy with this. I like the way this turned out. And that's rare for me. I like this. I like this cable. I mean, this is going to be a good cable. This is going to be good once I get it hooked up down under there and get it routed so it's not all up in the way of everything. I found a battery in my stash of cores that was from 2020, and I tested it, and hell, it had 10 volts. So I threw the charger on it for a couple hours and checked it again, and it was up to 12 volts. So unless it doesn't like having a load put on it, I think we'll just throw that in here for now and see if that works. We ain't out nothing to try that. Lord knows new batteries are expensive. Anybody else so old they remember when batteries were like $39.95 and $49.95? Yeah, I remember. I also remember when you could buy 4 tires for $100. Now you can't get 1 tire for $100. You can't get half a tire for $100. What else? Oh, I had to buy a hose to get around the valve cover over here. Oh, hold on. There we go. Look at that. So, see this hose here? So if you tried to hook, where's that? So if you tried to hook this hose up, this one down there, it's such a sharp bend that as soon as it would bend, it would try to make that short bend, it would kink the hose. Not quite that drastically, but close. So this hose is an S hose that's actually for like a, I don't know, 2013 GMC Yukon or something like that. But it eliminates that problem. We've got a piece of 5/8 copper, brass, I don't know what it is, tubing over here. We'll cut us a little piece of this, put a couple flares on each end, and we'll just use that to connect the blue silicone hose to the little S hose over there. And that gets it away, and that solves that problem where everything, and I don't know if it's because the dipstick tube, because it's a pan fill C4 and not an FMX, and I don't know if that makes the dipstick come up in a different area than the factory one did, but I'm all right with this. I kind of like this idea, actually. Then I can run these 2 hoses, I'll hook this up to here, and I can run these 2 hoses together, put a little clamp over here. I'll turn this way, so then this hose will come in this way, shorten this one up, and it goes down here. And I'm all right with that. I think that'll look all right. Anyway, that's probably going to do it for now. God, I need a new phone so I can turn this thing around so I can see what I'm looking at. So I can see what I'm filming. This phone's just busted all to shit. It's busted 3 ways to sideways. And it's a mess. But I want $1,000 for a new iPhone. Once again, that's crazy. That's probably it for now. Probably plenty of boring stuff that nobody cares about. But we'll look, squirrel. We'll talk to you later.